Good evening. So, I'm Chase Bollinger of Bowcrest Industries, and we're going to get into some content here. I'm about to take you on a deep dive into the reasons why Greenland is already U.S. soil. So this is going to be a little bit of a explanatory dive. So currently in the United States of America, I believe it is this one. Yes. Okay. Do you know how many countries we give money to? Now, if anybody's in here, if you could let me know if you are seeing, I think you are seeing what I've got pulled up here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to see the chat at the same time. Let me see. Nope, I'm probably not going to be able to, and I need to get this up to live. There we go. Okay. All right. I am not going to be able to see the chat. But as you can see here, these are all the different countries that we give money to, including Greenland, including Great Britain, Norway, Russia even, Ukraine, Israel, Libya, Niger, all these countries, they have numbers on them. We sent $150 to Australia, it looks like. I'm guessing there's a comma and some thousands missing off that. But as you can see, pretty much every country on Earth receives money from the United States in some way or another. To China, $10,200,000. Don't get me wrong. I'm not against the Chinese people. However, they have the second largest economy on Earth. Don't think we need to be giving them money. And if you require our money to survive, are you your own country? That is a very serious question. If you are only surviving because we give you money, 8 million, 4.5 million, 27 million, 97 million, $325.6 million, 11 million, 131 million, 74 million, 223 million, 39 million, 5 million to Cuba, and we don't even let people go there. Gave Canada supposedly only $251,000. I disbelieve that, but we'll get into that. The reasoning I disbelieve this stuff is because, well, it's just a lie. Okay? All right. So, I don't know what I think this is another map I had of the same thing. Okay. So, we're going to go to I'll make sure I get to the right ones. Okay, that's Saudi Arabia. That is Taiwan. Here we go. So, here's one thing. Greenland, during World War II, became basically a U.S. territory. Now, it seems pretty difficult to find all of this stuff. A lot of it was not on the first page or even the second page. I believe this was on the 7th page of Google. Nonetheless, following the fall of Denmark in April 1940, left the Danish colony of Greenland an unoccupied territory of an occupied nation, under the possibility of seizure by the United Kingdom, United States, or Canada, a dominion of the British Empire. From 1941 until 1945, the United States established numerous and extensive facilities for air, sea traffic in Greenland, as well as radio beacons, radio stations, weather stations, ports, depots, artillery posts, and search and rescue stations. We already took Greenland. It is ours. We, as the nice people that we are, gave it back. And I want to point out something, okay? I believe this is like the story of the king with the talents in the Bible. I believe this is exactly like this. So, Greenland, which has 56,000 people in it, 9,000 some odd hundred and some odd number live in poverty out of 56,000. They have some of the best fisheries in the world. They have over $4 trillion in rare earth minerals, not including the uranium, not including their oil and natural gas, which is prevalent up there. Now, the only investment that Denmark has made into this country has been a couple of dog sleds, basically. And if it were more, they would tell us, oh, we have a couple ships that we send around the shore a couple times a year. That's not going to cut it. Okay, and I'll give you a reason why. Because in 1942, guess what? Greenland joined the war officially. Greenland enters the war. When the United States entered the war with Germany on 11th December 1941, Greenland became a warring nation. Remaining contact with Copenhagen was broken off. Rationing and daylight savings time was introduced, and local currency and stamps printed. In 1942, the U.S. Army took over protection of the Igvat mine, and combat patrols began to be flown from Bluey West 1, which became the headquarters for both the Coast Guard Greenland Patrol and the United States Army Air Force's USAAF Greenland Base Command. A third air base was established at Bluey East 2 during the summer. The Greenland population, which had been around 18,000 natives and fewer than 500 Danes, was augmented by thousands of U.S. service members. Relations with the Americans were excellent, as they provided news, provisions, humanitarian aid, and entertainment, in addition to greatly expanding the island's infrastructure. We built you. In 1944, a 5 kroner coin was struck in Philadelphia to be used by American soldiers. Greenland's commercial interests in North America were maintained by the Greenland delegation with the aid of Kaufman and Sav. Brunn remained in Greenland as head of unified administration. Both the Allies, this is German weather stations, both the Allies, Britain in particular, and Germany tried to gain a monopoly on weather data in the North Atlantic and Arctic Oceans. Meteorological intelligence was important as it affected military planning and the routing of ships and convoys. I think my phone died. Crap. I apologize. Technical difficulties. Give me 1 minute. All right, we should be back cooking with gas. I apologize. All right, I think I'm still about centered. I'm going to restart this paragraph. I apologize. Both the Allies, Britain in particular, and Germany tried to gain a monopoly on weather data in the North Atlantic and Arctic Oceans. Meteorological intelligence was important as it affected military planning and the routing of ships and convoys. Greenland became an important part of the North Atlantic weather war. Oh, crap. Give me 1 second. Yep, I got knocked back all the way. All right. I think you are now seeing what I'm seeing. I don't think I got anybody on right now to tell me. But beginning in 1942 August, the Germans established 4 clandestine weather stations on the East Coast. The first expedition on Sabine Island was detected in the spring, but was withdrawn successfully before it was attacked. The fall 1943 expedition at Shannon Island also operated successfully over the winter and spring and was withdrawn by air. 2 expeditions in 1944, October, were seized by the Coast Guard before they could get established. The German weather station Holzog at Hansa Bay on the northeast coast of Sabine Island was discovered by a team from the Sledge Patrol. On 11th March 1943, the Germans realized they had been discovered and gave chase to the team, who had to abandon their equipment, including their dog teams, and retreat to the station at Eskimonis to warn L. Polson, the Sledge Patrol commander. Polson reported the German base to the Greenland government and asked for automatic weapons and further orders. The Army of Greenland and Polskin its captain, effective 15 March. The Germans attacked Eskimones on the 23rd of March, seized it, and then burned the station 2 days later. Though unhurt in the firefight, the entire Sledge Patrol contingent based there was forced to make a 400-mile trek to the station at Ella Island without sleds, food, or equipment. On March 26th, while returning to Sabine Island, the Germans ambushed Corporal Ellie Knudsen and Sandinen and accidentally killed him with a machine gun burst meant for his dogs. In late April, Lieutenant Hermann Ritter, the officer in command of the German detachment, was taken prisoner by Maris Jensen, a member of the Sledge Patrol, and brought to the Americans after a long journey. Okay? So, on May 5th, 1945, Greenlanders celebrated the liberation of Denmark and Nuuk. The Greenland administration under Eske Brun surrendered its emergency powers and again came under direct control from Copenhagen. Okay? And the United States presence continued to decrease in numbers until the Kaufman-Hull Agreement was replaced by a new base treaty in 1951. And the American presence brought Sears catalog, with which Greenlanders and Danes ordered modern appliances and their other products by mail. The successful experience of an independent Greenland led to a dramatic restructuring and modernization of Danish policy with respect to the colony. Did it? Okay. So that's the main thing I can find about us there. What I will tell you is that we have 15 bases up there, ports and air bases, and that building them was costly. How much? I can't find a price, actually. Oddly enough, that's one of the few things that hasn't been accounted for, apparently. Or it's being suppressed. All right. So Greenland has been back in control of the Dutch since 1945. What have you done with it? Why is 1/5 of your population in poverty when you are one of the richest, mineral richest nations on earth with one of the smallest populations? I have never heard of another country with as small of a population as Greenland. They don't even have as many people as my town I live in. My city. Now, this is something that they all want to lie to us about. But here they say it in plain English. And this is from 12 of March, 2025. Okay? Greenland's independence gradualists win election amid Trump control pledge. So Greenland wants to become independent of Denmark. No problem. However, then you're going to be part of the United States. Because we're not going to let you sell pre-built military installations, even if they're old, to China or Russia, which I guess what? Have news articles about both of those as well, and them thinking that they're going to play in our face. Okay, so last year, they say that the reason why the moderates and not the radical rapid independence wing, because over 75% of all Greenland wants to be independent. Okay. So the non-radical, non-wanting to be independent tomorrow people won, because they know, or they believed, that if they put it off till after Donald Trump left, they could do whatever they want and sell us out. But we're not playing that game. We're not playing any of those games anymore. Okay? So Greenland's pro-business opposition Democratic Party, which favors a slow approach to the independence from Denmark, won Tuesday's parliamentary election that was dominated by U.S. President Donald Trump's pledge to take control of the island. Okay? Democratic secured 29.9% of the votes, with all ballots counted, up from 9.1 in 2021. Ahead of the opposition Nallerup Party, which favors rapid independence at 24.5. Okay. You don't even have 28,000 people that are willing to state they don't. Altogether, they have 50.4% of the vote for some form of independence. Right here, just in these two parties, not including any of the other parties. They're going to win that vote for independence. Whether they win it today, tomorrow, next year, 10 years from now, they're going to win the vote. And we have built the entire infrastructure of Greenland. All of it. I just read you the whole history of it. At the time, there was only 18,000 people there, and they didn't have no food or anything when the Dutch lost the war before we came in and saved their ass. Pardon my language. So, this is this story. Now, why most Greenlanders favor a future without Trump or Denmark. This is a secondary story about the same thing, but this one was from January 12th, okay? So, and this is an opinion piece, of course. It is from CNBC, so take it for what it's worth. They've got a couple quotes in here from their... But this talks about the Self-Government Act in 2009, which was their initial push to become a free country. You are not able to be a country when you don't have enough people to defend it. You have 2 dog sleds that you don't even pay for, that the Danish pay for. That's how you defend your island. That's 3 times the size of Texas. Do you know how far those dog sled teams go in a day? It's 30 kilometers or 15 miles. You probably drive that back and forth to work if you're an American here. Bare minimum. And that's how far they get. And they're 3 times the size of Texas. 2.1 million square miles of land. And they're just coming right out and saying it. Well, we'll just wait it out. No, you won't. No, you won't. You will become part of America willingly or unwillingly. You're not going to sell us out and sell out the bases that we built to our competitors. Not going to do it. Now, you don't believe me? Oh, look at this. This is from April 14th of last year. Greenland courts China in snub to Trump. You're really asking for it, huh? Like you're just wanting to be the Fafo warrior of the day, huh? Honestly, I don't think he needs to send our military. I think he should send some of our civilians. I think he should just come and gather up a bunch of us, rednecks and city folk, and drop us off over there. I think you guys will enjoy our company enough, you'll want to become part of America. And if not, I'm pretty sure we can take you. You guys have 600 people to defend your whole island. 1/4 of them are Americans. And I bet the Americans are better armed. And put that out there. Most likely. A little bit better armed. And I don't know if you saw us activate 150 Apache helicopters yesterday when you guys flew in your 36 guys. Whee! really not showing a lot of effort there. You didn't even fill up a C-130, which you flew all the way from Europe over there. You didn't even fill it all the way up. I mean, you could have brought a snowcat. You could have brought, I can think of several things on top of 30 guys. I mean, what's going on? And this is this year. Or I'm sorry, this was just last year, 6-7 months ago. Greenland's foreign minister has said it is seeking deeper cooperation with China and potentially a free trade agreement. According to Chinese state news agency Xinhua, why it matters. The comments were made as U.S. President Donald Trump and his allies have continued to talk of acquiring the resource-rich and strategically located island at the same time that China is banning export of rare earth minerals to the United States, which is what's needed for us to defend your country and your motherland, Denmark, from the Russians and the Chinese. Guess where we need from your country is the ability to continue to defend your country and every other country on earth that depends on us. And we'll get into that in just a minute. I can go back to the list of U.S. countries getting aid, including Greenland, including Canada, who also just tried to sign a deal with China to screw us. Not a good look, guys. Not a good look. You know. Greenland held elections in March with a new government led by Prime Minister Jens Frederik Nielsen of the Democrats. Trump has said that the United States needs Greenland for global security reasons, which is very true. We don't have rare earth minerals. No one has any missiles. No one has any smartphones. No one has any planes, cars, trains. Nothing. Your laptop, your AI, all of that. Don't have it without rare earth minerals. So, kind of important. China is very important to us, and we are eager to strengthen our cooperation, Motzfeldt told Xinhua. Motzfeldt said she had made a memorial trip to China in 2023 and noted that China was already one of Greenland's largest markets for seafood exports. Motzfeldt formally opened Greenland's representative office in Beijing in 2023 within the Danish embassy. Recent ideas of the U.S. acquiring Greenland were first floated during Trump's first presidency. When administration officials approached Greenlandic leaders with promises of billions of dollars in investment, but American interest in Greenland dates back more than a century. Okay? We bought the Virgin Islands from Denmark 100 years ago. We bought Alaska from Russia in the 1880s. We bought New Orleans and the entire West from Louisiana in the 1820s. This is a thing. People buy stuff. And we gave you Greenland back for 70 years and you did nothing with it. Your people are still in poverty. The average person there makes less than $60,000 US a year. There's only 57,000 people there with over $4 trillion in rare earth mineral assets, with over $2 trillion in natural gas reserves and oil reserves, and one of the best fisheries in the world. And your people are poor. How is this possible? Because you refuse to invest in your territory. And so, like the guy who buried his talent, we are going to take the talent and give it to the guy who multiplied it by 2. That's how that works. The controversy over Greenland airports show China isn't fully welcome in the Arctic yet. Oh, when is this from? Oh, September 13th, 2018, when they tried to sell one of our airports in Greenland to China. Yeah, how about the stuff that we build on your island is ours, and whether or not we are occupying it, you're not going to sell it to an enemy. If your mother country had wanted to occupy one of these 14 unoccupied American bases that are up there at any point in time in the last 70 years, you would have been more than welcome to. Then we would have accepted it. And we probably wouldn't be harassing you right now. But you guys aren't even going to invest $1 billion into Greenland between the whole European Union. You're offering $530 million. We are banned from importing rare earth minerals from China as of 2027, the year China takes Taiwan, the year we need to be able to replace our missiles. You know what I mean? So let's get into the cost, right? What do we spend protecting all of these countries on Earth? That's not the right one I'm looking for. No, that's this one is an example of what it should be. Okay, so Saudi Arabia has paid $500 million towards the cost of U.S. troops in the country. We asked for, I believe it is $300 million somewhere. Hold on. $331 million. That's what we were seeking. And Saudi Arabia put $1 billion into this account and paid $500 million already. Okay? So we put money into protecting you. And don't get me wrong, that's not all the money it costs us. But this is closer to how it should be. Because let's go to, I'll come back to that one. Let's go to this one. This is for Japan and South Korea. And they're the ones who are the 5 and 2 talent countries. You know what I mean? That we gave 5 talents to, and they doubled it and became something with themselves, right? I'm not saying we're giving them Greenland. But what I am saying is, this is how it should have been. We spend $20.9 billion between 2016 and 2019 protecting Japan. Okay? Japan helped out with helped out with 12.6 billion. Okay? Helped out with 2/3 of the money extra, assisting us in defending their own country. South Korea, we spent $13.4 billion, and they gave us about half. Or they spent about half themselves defending their own country. Okay? This is how it should be. These are examples of how it should be. I want to show how expensive it is for us to defend the world. How much do you think it costs for us to defend Europe? Okay. 150 to 180 billion dollars annually total, which is 20 to 25% of our budget, of our military budget. We spend protecting the world. So I don't want to hear anything from any of these people except, yes, you're right. I'm sorry. 4 to 5 billion annually defending Germany. Okay? 4 to 5 billion annually defending Germany. That's just Germany. And a lot of other countries get a lot of support from us being in Germany. And we have a couple bases in Denmark as well for our submarines and stuff. You know? How much are we spending protecting Europe out of that 150 to 180 billion dollars? That is a very serious question. We can tabulate out what we're spending with Japan and South Korea and some of these others and get us a little bit closer. But I bet that it's close to 30 billion a year probably. And we've been doing that for 75 years. I heard a number of $700 billion to buy Greenland. Well, I want you to take 30 billion a year times 70 years, which it's been more than that now. We're at 80 years. We're actually at 81 years now. But we'll do 70, right? 30 times 70 is $2.1 trillion. So it sounds like you're going to pay us back $1.4 trillion. Right? Right. I knew you would know what I'm saying. I knew you would get exactly what I'm saying. I don't get the audacity of these countries. The audacity of them to think that they can just take us to the cleaners. They've taken us to the cleaners through prescription costs, where they're paying none of the research and development on these drugs for the last 40 years, while we've been paying top dollar and paying for the research that allows them to stay alive. You guys either don't know how bad it's been here in America for our people compared to how it was. I know we're not doing as bad as you guys. I get it. But we're also not the people that put up with it. We're the people that go and kick people's teeth in and take their stuff. I mean, every time you guys get your ass kicked, you call Uncle Sam up, and Uncle comes in and skull fucks them. And then gives you back your little piece of property, your monopoly money, and says you can keep playing on the world stage. If you guys don't quit effing around. The find out is coming because we're tired of it. There's too many Americans that are living impoverished. There's too many Americans that don't even get to see the dream. There's too many Americans that are being brainwashed because their lives are so crap. And they see what the lives of their parents and their grandparents were and how they could afford things on one budget or how they could afford things on this or on that. In 1920, a man's wage, average wage across this nation in America, could buy him a house outright, a car, brand new, and a full arsenal of weapons and ammunition, and still have enough money to keep his family fed. Today, we are lucky if a car doesn't cost as much as a whole year's salary. We are lucky if our house is within 3 years' salary. We're lucky if we can afford groceries after we pay our power bill because of all the green new scam deals you guys have done to us and convinced us to talked us into so you could leech more money off of us and draw us down so you guys could get a leg up. We are going to shake you off of our boots and keep on walking. You guys will lose the war with Russia if you don't stop. If we pull out of NATO, Russia will nuke Germany and Britain. He's already stated it. He said, keep effing around and you're going to find out Orishnik style. And that was a real threat from Putin. Because you guys keep trying to assassinate him with drones and with men that you're sending behind the lines to kill him. Car bombs. You're trying to kill a leader of a nuclear-powered nation. Like there will not be a consequence. You are playing a game to get Russia's economic value and be able to take it from their land. You're trying to force us to beat Russia up for you so you can hijack all of their minerals, all of their elements, all of their oil, all of their wheat, all of their farmland, all of their lumber. That's what you're doing. And we're not going to continue to play this game. If you idiots want to keep fighting Russia over the Ukraine, which is already lost and is full of Nazis, who are killing Christians, who are shutting down churches and will not allow people to worship, who are waving Nazi SS symbols as their battalion flags, who ship U.S. weapons and ammunition to Hamas to kill Jews because they're Nazis. And Nazis hate the Jews. It's almost like Hamas is Muslim Nazis. Crazy. So, no, I've been on quite the rant. I don't think anybody ever joined us. Oh, I have somebody in here. Hello. I don't have all of them yet. Game over indeed. Game over indeed. Yeah, no, I am not. And my dang live stream thing keeps jumping back. I was trying to keep it up so I could see whenever people are coming on. I don't have it set up great now where I need to figure out how to get like an extra screen so I can put my chat in the side so I can talk to you guys. No. I'm going to go back through some of this. How you've been here for about 5 minutes? Okay, I'm going to go back through. So this is the map of all the countries on earth that we give money to. And this is the list by money. We're at 113 and we're still over $1 million a piece. Okay. That's how many countries. We're giving money to Russia, $287,000. We're giving money to Canada, to Greenland. Okay. This is insanity. All right. And then this, this is an explanation of why we actually already have won Greenland. We conquered Greenland in 1940. Whenever Denmark lost to the Nazis. We just happened to give it back at the end of the war. And they did nothing with it. Their people are still living in poverty. This states that there was only 18,000 Greenlanders originally whenever we went there, April 9th, 1940. And that we built their entire infrastructure. Including giving them Sears Roebuck catalogs, which is where most of their homes came from. Okay, now this is a story about Greenland's independence. Gradualists. Because Greenland believes that they can slow walk the leaving of Denmark till after Trump leaves office, so then they can sell our property that we built in Greenland to the Chinese and to the Russians. Oh, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. They're not even here. Really? Really? Let me go to this one. I think this is the one. Yep. This is the one. Greenland courts China and snub to Trump, April 14th, 2025. They're seeking deeper cooperation with China and potentially a free trade agreement. Really? Well, if that was the only thing. Yeah, I mean. Oh, the controversy over Greenland airports shows China isn't fully welcome in the Arctic yet. September 13th, 2018. So China's been trying to get their clutches in to Greenland for quite a while. Just like we have. The difference is we've already taken the country one time. And we built everything inside of it. And after we gave it to Denmark for 70 years, they did nothing with it but put two dog sleds on it. Well, let's just see. Okay. So, and then I went through some of these and I showed that Saudi Arabia, they gave $1 billion into the bank and paid $500 million to cover the cost of our troops being in the country, which we estimated at $331 million a year. This is another one saying the same thing, but they wanted me to pay them. So I did not. This is the $20 billion that we give to Taiwan every year to protect them. This states that we spend another $34 billion in a couple years defending Japan and South Korea. We spend $5.9 million and 3.45 to 4 billion a year defending those countries. We also spend 4 to 5 billion annually defending Germany. Okay? The third largest economy in the world. And all three of these countries right here have taken what we gave them after the war and done something with themselves. Taiwan included. All these countries have. Denmark has not done anything with the land we gave back to them. And now it is needed for us to defend ourselves as well as the rest of the world. And if you want us to be able to defend the rest of the world against China, who is stopping the exportation of rare earth minerals to us starting next year, then you'd better allow us to take Greenland. Yeah, that's the basic rundown of it. Went into a lot more depth, but basically, what my contention is that Greenland is already American soil. We already built everything there. We conquered it 70 years ago, 80 years ago. And seeing as we spend $150 to $180 billion a year defending the world, and most of these countries are not paying us to do it, we'll say that we spend approximately $30 billion defending Europe every year. For 70 years, that's $2.1 trillion. I saw a number where they said that for us to buy Greenland, it would be $700 billion. That being the case, you guys owe us $1.4 trillion. Seeing as I don't think you're going to pay that, how about we make a flat-out trade, and you fuck right on off, and we, the American people, will actually invest into your territory and allow ourselves to protect the world. I am so tired of these elitists, globalists, trying to crush our country. They want us to own nothing and be happy. I disagree. I think the only way for us to move forward in this time, is for us to go ahead and send the 150 Apaches over there and see if they open fire on us. I mean, they claim they will. So let's see if they start a war, because we are allies, but yet they claim they're going to open fire on us if we move over there. Yet they say at the same time that we have full authority to put whatever we want in Greenland. So I'm curious as to the next step. And I also want to put out here that Germany withdrew their troops that they just sent within 8 hours of being threatened with a 10% tariff. Well, I've been live for 54 minutes now. I love you guys. I hope that you have had a blessed night. Thank you very much, Rana, for being with me this whole time and for continuing to watch my stuff. I'm about to go grab me a bite to eat and go feed and water my dogs again. You guys have a blessed evening.